Oh, are you talking to me? I didn't notice I was the only one here. Can I help you with something? I don't see any reason why you shouldn't sit here, even though you've just pointed out that the whole rest of the pub is empty. Say, do I know you from somewhere? Is that so? Yeah, that sounds like something I would do. It was just a matter of time, wasn't it, before all of my misdeeds caught up to me? You don't have to tell me. In fact, please don't. I can see it in your eyes. If it's all the same to you, may I finish my drink before you get on with what you're planning? I won't try to run. The beer here is... well, the beer is fine. There's nothing wrong with it. It's cold, it's foamy, and it tastes like bread. Can I buy you one while you wait? I might as well. I won't need my money later. Do you mind if I talk you up for a little bit beforehand? Oh, nothing much. Just thinking of some last words, I suppose. Thanks. You know, there's a phrase I heard that comes to mind. It didn't make a lot of sense when I first heard it. Someone told me, "May your last check bounce." When I heard it, I thought it was fairly obvious. Of course, if you bounced a check, then no one's going to accept another one from you. Now I realize that the phrase is more of a wish. They hope you get everything out of life that you wanted. Leave this world with an empty bank account. Well, I didn't do that. But I got close. No, your beer is already here. So, how long ago did I turn you into a tree? Wow, that is almost the entire lifespan of a tree. So how did you become human again? Did someone end your enchantment? I guess it doesn't matter. Congratulations are in order, and if I'm wrong, I don't even care. For what it's worth, you look very healthy. I hope these positive circumstances continue for you. Please, don't trouble yourself with me. You're already doing me a favor. What I'm going through is just an ordinary human experience. As a fey creature, these human things seem so distant. Our culture tends to insulate us from the various casual hungers and pains which humans bear on their shoulders day in and day out. That makes me imagine your journey must have been filled with a lot of these things. So, again, I ask if it's all the same to you. Would you allow me to use the remainder of my magic to make you more comfortable? There's no point in letting it go to waste. Just name it, and I'll let you know if your request is within my power. I will warn you, and please heed, while it is true that I can present you with items of luxury well above what you are used to, I will not create it. That is for your own good. You may think yourself clever and strong and have every support for your argument, but these were the very same prides that led me to my despair. But enough about my woes. Can I interest you in a fragrant, hoppy ale after this one? A ring of skillfully proofed bread with seeds and garlic? Oh, maybe you'd like something more long-lasting, like an outfit perfectly in your size, including a pair of boots so comfortable it may even extend your walking years? How about a spell of good fortune? A leisurely rout of favorable happenstance, all possible before you finish your quest. By no means am I hoping to dissuade you. I admit that I'm not ready, but it shouldn't stop you. Please don't let my death grip on my own miserable existence change your mind. I won't even say that I forgive you, because by saying that you get forgiveness is acknowledging some wrongdoing on your part. No, no, no. I understand that your vengeance is righteous. I know that now. Are you sure that you really want to know? My story is as dull as it is lengthy. You've been patient enough so far, more than that, actually. Very well. As you are aware, I am a fairy, and at one point I was considered quite clever. In fact, the most clever. It was a hallmark of my social standing among other fairies. I would frequently go on and on about my exploits against humans, which is something of a sport for my kind. Listen, I get it. We're not good people. Right? I've reconciled this. I'll just tell you how things went in my mind at that time. It's just that when you don't fear pain or death or hunger or what have you, when you are absent of all of these grounding forces, one sees morality as nothing more than a curious affair that hinted at something beyond but seems too trivial or laughable to pursue. Such is the life of the Fae, unbound by any burdens. So unbound that the worst thing a fairy can experience is a slight of disrespect, and what happened to me was I was slighted. 3 times, in fact, by the same person. I was traveling, as I often did in those old days, and I happened upon a lone man on the road, walking barefoot. He had no cloak, he had no backpack. He stunk of necrosis. His knees were on the brink of popping from his legs. His cheeks were sunken and sallow, but as the rest of him. His coarse black hair had all but windswept from his scalp, his eyes containing the faintest hint of life. I was feeling a bit bored, boredom being the second worst thing a fairy can experience, so I offered to help this man with his health, to lure him in to a false sense of security before asking for his name. A name that I could use to take complete control over him. As I've mentioned before, we're not good people. I was already looking forward to telling his tale of my cleverness over him. I sat down and offered a meal, a modest one for me, but exquisite for one like him. He accepted, and as he ate, I told him how I was moved by the sight of him. This was a lie that I thought would soften him up to me. I offered him a glass of something cold and warm, syrupy and cleansing, to moisten his throat and prepare him to speak. By then I'd already talked about where I was from. I recommended a good path to travel, and I even complimented his appearance, as it was already improving from the indulgence I provided him. I thought surely no one who has ever been met with such hospitality would refuse to give me their name, but I was wrong. When I asked for his name, he replied that I did not want his name. I thought he must have been some sort of clown to say something so evidently untrue. So I laughed at his joke, and I asked him more about what misfortune had led him to his state. I expressed concern, another lie, for him after a moment, offering to go to the next town ahead to see if there were any bounties open for him. I would just need his name so that I could check. Again, he told me that I don't want his name. At this point, I was bored and disrespected, my cleverness unacknowledged and my question unanswered. Between the dullness of a reply repeated and one more avenue for me to learn his name exhausted, all after I'd given him a luscious meal, I was offended. I swore to myself then that once I'd gotten his name, he would be the most accursed. And again, I was wrong. No, so very, very wrong. I told him I couldn't just refer to him as you, since I couldn't bring myself to be so impolite, especially to a stranger, especially to one in need. I asked him for his name again, lest he make me a rude man. Then he reminded me that I didn't want his name. I filled my lungs with breath, which I planned to rebuke him with, but in that moment he told me his name. Now the breath I drew, I changed my plan about it. I then planned to gloat about my cleverness, but when I exhaled, I made not a sound. I exhaled endlessly, my rib cage closing in around my lungs. My stomach sank into my heart until the shape of my spine showed through my abdomen. My every nerve ending suddenly crying out with a brand new sensation, panicking from its intensity, my first taste of pain. While I waned, he waxed, and built back into a healthy man before my very sunken eyes. I could not speak, but the fully formed man spoke to me. Despite this being our first meeting, this man had long observed me and my methods. There was a curse on his name, a curse that would follow his name. I asked him why not give up his name at the first opportunity, and he told me he'd met with other fairies, ones who'd only asked once, and accepted his response. He endured this curse so that he could one day meet a fairy whose arrogance knows no limitations. He humbled me in a way I thought impossible, and fearing even more torment, I fled. I fled to the forest where I intended to ask my contemporaries to lift my curse, that I may lose his wretched name. Yes, it worked. I was so glad to be rid of that awful name. I approached a contemporary for help, someone renowned for their splendor in dress. She had my admiration, as always, but she also had a new, fantastic hat. I tried to compliment her hat, but I couldn't find my voice. She helped me find more of my friends, and they lifted the curse from me. Yes, I can see how you would conclude that my trouble was over at this point. However, once I was back to my former self, my friends admonished me. My splendid friend was offended that I didn't compliment her hat, and my rival, rubbing salt into the wound, rebuked me and reminded everyone present that he couldn't imagine seeing a hat like that one without remarking on its seduction, its dazzle, and its intrigue. Each of them spoke about how they felt compelled to praise my friend's new hat, and that made my failure seem all the more offensive. Word of my disrepute traveled to my parents, and they cut me off from their magic. They left me with what I had left, and They told me I had to get a job. Well, that was back in 1993, so it's still pretty fresh. I've almost depleted my savings, and I've been getting by selling artisanal fairy mayonnaise. It's nothing special, honestly. I don't even like it, but humans say it's incredible, swear by it even. High praise from such indiscriminating tastes is such a joke. Well, it looks like you're here to give me the punchline. Can I ask what your plan is? Oh, I don't know what I expected. No, it's fine. It's perfectly fine. You're doing great. Honestly. I can't think of a better way. I I mean, I was hoping for something a little bit more dramatic, but no, it's fine. Beggars can't be choosers, and I know this. If you like, I could use my power to make it look like an accident, or like I had the spine to do it myself. Oh, come on. After all that, after I've told you about my woes, now you're not going to do it? You're going to make me live with this? Ah, oh, it's worse. I think I liked your original plan better. At least it was halfway good. Your stomach is growling. Please, order some food. I'll pay for it. I'm sure. Well, it's hard to say if the food is any good here, but it's easy to keep down, and it's something a person could get used to if they needed to. I'll get something as well so that you don't have to eat alone. Well, I'm a little lost for words, to be honest. See, I'd never been hunted before. And then I've also never had someone cancel plans for me. So that's two new things. What do you do? Well, I guess we'll just have to figure it out. Oh, by the way, help me out. Could I please have... No, never mind. No, it's not important. Let's just get some food and we'll figure it out.